Let's welcome everybody in Chicago now watching this ball game here. Southern Illinois had the only scoring chance. They took it all the way down, first and goal at the 2. Were pushed back and tried a field goal and fumbled the snap. And Northern Illinois then moved it down the field, but unsuccessfully. We're stopped at the 35-yard line, and now Southern Illinois has it on a 4th down. They will punt. So really, not a ton of action yet, Bob. Greg Turner, the man deep. And Northern Illinois will start at their own 28-yard line. Chauncey Mixon came up and made the play, knocking Turner down by the ankles.
Well, one of the things I talked about earlier was the adjustments that Northern Illinois made defensively. Now let's see what type of adjustments they make offensively. They have to get into a rhythm. I like what I've seen so far. They're mixing the plays up very well. A little bit of misdirection, a little bit of passes. I think Dan Nicholson has showed some great poise in his home opener here.
Montel Clanton is the man, the single back set for quarterback Dan Nicholson. Nicholson throws, finds his man on a wide receiver screen, and that will be about a 6-yard gain as Matt Simon makes the catch. Simon, a junior out of Farmington, Minnesota, knocked down by Justin Thurston, the linebacker for Southern Illinois. There's the catch, there's the tackle, and Northern Illinois has it on a 2nd and 4. What does 2nd and 4, Bob, allow you to do? Because you're in second short yardage. 2nd and 4 brings up a myriad of situations, and it's all predicated upon what the tendency is of the Saluki defense. That is the way Coach Whitney will run this play, and here it goes. Northern Illinois runs a little bit of trickery, and that's going to be a big gain for Marcus Perez on the end around, and that will be Northern Illinois 1st down in Southern Illinois territory. Real nice misdirection. Excellent call. Excellent call. Great misdirection. Well executed. This Northern Illinois right now is almost, from an execution standpoint, in mid-season form. Great job of going downfield by the big guys. You know, Dan Nicholson on that throw previous to that, he showed me an awful lot with regard to his arm strength. He has all the passes so far, all the touches that he needs to be a fine quarterback. Hand up to Clanton, and he'll pick his way to the 43. And you know, on the previous play, Bob, it's a big gain, yet we see one of the big uglies, one of the big linemen. We say that endearingly down the field. Chris Acevedo, the guy you talked about in the open, gets his big body at 310 pounds, 30 yards down the field block. He has to have a great game, but he also has to be the leader. He is a senior. He has been an outstanding football player from the moment he came on campus from Curry High School in the Chicago Public League. Nicholson looking. He is pressured, gets rid of it, avoids the sack, finds Clanton. Clanton rumbles to the 29. Outstanding job by the quarterback, Dan Nicholson. Andre Tillman made the tackle. Young Dan Nicholson here shows great composure. He shows great poise. He's under duress. Here comes the rush. He shakes it off. That is instinctive, David. And then yet to get your eyes up and find a receiver, that's an outstanding football play. Huskies on the move now. They are at the 29-yard line on a 1st and 10 situation. Clanton, the single back set. Nicholson barks out the signs, hands to Clanton, and he will be blown up at the 30, loss of a yard. You know, you talk about a running back and vision. He needed to stay play side. The Saluki linebackers were very patient. When they start running out, then cut the football back. If you do not see them cutting back, coming back, then stay with the football play side and get what you can. Brandon Jordan, number 10, another outstanding read from his linebacker spot. You know, you mentioned Chris Acevedo. Here he is. He's talking. He's talking to Clanton. Here's a guy who blocked for the great Garrett Wolf. He knows what a great running back is. He's going to stay on this thing. He's going to make sure that through the entire game he shows leadership. He shows confidence. Relax. Settle down. We're okay. You can't win big football games, any football games, without senior leadership. All right, we've got a timeout. We have completed 1 quarter of play. No score, but the Huskies moving. 2nd and 11 when we come back at the 30.
We're going to get stuck again.
All right, welcome back. This is Robert Brigham Field, former Northern Illinois longtime athletic director. This is Husky Stadium, where Brigham Field resides. First quarter stats, Bobby, anything jump out at you?
Well, one of the things, rushing yards, 21 rushing yards for the Huskies, 2 for the Salukis. Then you see the passing yards. This is about what I expected early on, 60 to 40. Yeah, there's somewhat a balance there. There's still a little bit of way to go. The one thing that the only thing I would say defensively was that penalty, and that penalty is going to happen with a little bit of overzealousness, if you will, early in the game. Beside that, I really like Northern's performance this evening.
Dan Nicholson on a 2nd and 11 is going to hand it Clanton. He's going to try and turn the corner, and we've got a hold coming up. Guarantee you that we've got a hold coming up. Trevor Moe made the tackle, but I think we're going to get a hold on Reed Cunningham, the tight end. You can see him limping a bit. But that's going to move the Huskies back. There's the yellow laundry. We'll wait for the call. And it will be against Northern Illinois. Bobby, you could see he pinched down, and with that ankle injury, he wanted to try and get a little bit of some leverage. Watch, you'll see the hold right there.
The holding will never be called if the blocker has his hands inside the framework of the defender's body. What you saw there with Reed, stretch his hands out. There comes a point in time, let it go. Take it for what it is. Let the back make the read off your block. Tuck the football inside.
2nd and 21 with Justin Anderson now the single back. Nicholson pressured, and it's picked off. That one's picked off, and that one may be going to the house. It is. It's a touchdown for Larry Luster and Southern Illinois. The senior out of Springfield rumbles that one down the sideline, and SIU has grabbed a 6-0 lead with a PAT coming up.
Dan Nicholson would like to have that one back, obviously. He should have thrown the football away. He forced it to try to make something happen. As a result, we see the big guy, Larry Luster from Sacred Heart Griffin High School in Springfield, Illinois, as you mentioned, rumble down the field into the Husky end zone.
Well, that was like a plate of burgers to a starving man. He saw it, a lineman's dream. I was talking to Dan Hampton yesterday, Hall of Fame lineman for Arkansas and the Bears. Did you know that in his great career, he never got a touchdown at any level?
He's under duress right there. Throw the football away. Throw it away. The thing, Dan Nicholson, after that play, did limp off the field. It looked like he was holding his right hand or his right elbow. This is something that a guy like Larry Luster, he dreams about it. Great analysis on his part. What he did was he went with the tackle number 77, Mayerbrock, because he read screen. You see that tackle starts to set back. He doesn't go after you aggressively. An experienced lineman, Larry Luster, 6 feet, 310-pound senior. He's going to sit on that play.
I think all those Gatorades were for him. That whole tray, he's going to just inhale it. Hey, I got to get my breath back here.
You know, when he got down to Carbondale by way of Harper Junior College up here in the greater Chicago area, he showed great speed there. 6 feet, as I mentioned, 310 pounds. You talk about a high school with great football tradition. Sacred Heart Griffin High School in Springfield. They played. Remember Doug Bartlett, the great Husky defensive lineman? Absolutely. They turned out some great football players.
You recruited him, didn't you?
No, he was here when I got here. Joe Novak and Coach Mallory and that staff brought those guys here.
Evans Adonis, Greg Turner are deep, and that one's going to bounce into the end zone. Turner will cover it. Huskies go on the attack, 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Dan Nicholson, A-OK, no worse for the wear, will come back in the football game. Take a look at the upcoming schedule for the Northern Illinois Huskies. You and I will be out here several times next week. The Eastern Michigan game. Then they go to Idaho, Central Michigan, and Temple. 3 in a row. And then we'll be back here on the 13th of October for the Western Michigan. Montel Clanton, the single back set. They will hand it to Clanton. He breaks a couple tackles, picks his way across the 25, out near the 27-yard line. Clayton Johnson, the safety, whacked him and knocked him down.
Watch Montel Clanton. Watch his feet. They never stop. He never stops his feet. It's a sign of a great running back. If you want to be a complete back, you have to be able to block. You have to be able to catch the ball in the back. You'll pick up the blitz. But the one prerequisite for any running back is when he is in the fray of the defense to keep your feet moving.
Nicholson hands to Clanton, and this time Clanton's going nowhere. Knocked down by Trevor Moe. And it's going to bring up a 3rd and 3, almost 4 yards.
So we mentioned early on about a bunch of young guys on the NIU roster. But also remember one thing, Roy Whitby is this first-year coordinator. You're talking about communication between the quarterback, communication with the offensive linemen and everything else. There's a learning curve, and it's going to be a process here as they go through this first opening game at home.
Justin Anderson back in as the tail of the tandem now. They'll give it to Justin Anderson, and he's going absolutely nowhere, but we have a flag on the play. We will find out what the flag is. Jameer Gaynor made the tackle along with Tony Coletti, a big defensive lineman. And it's going to be offsides on the defense, and that will be enough to advance the ball for a Northern Illinois first down.
One of the things that's difficult for me to understand is how do you line up offside defensively? Or, you know, the other thing is when you've got a middle guard who jumps offside, the football's in front of you.
Just wait till it's snapped.
Wait till it's snapped. I will say this, though. Give the Saluki defensive line. They have been stout today.
Nicholson looking, throws, finds Turner at the 40. Tell you what, Nicholson shows me something. He's got strong arm.
Oh, he does. I don't think there's any question. And he has all the throws. He knows when to touch. He knows when to throw the football on the rope. The one thing right now is he has to, through game, what I would refer to as game maturity. You know, next week, the week after, the next play of the next series, he doesn't throw that football. And again, coaching is a constant process. He comes off the field. They'll sit him down. They'll talk to him about that.
Reed Cunningham, motion man, handoff, Clanton. Clanton up the middle. Clanton is going. Clanton to the 20, to the 10, the 5. Give him 6. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. Montel Clanton takes it to the house. A big run, and Bob, he showed you outstanding breakaway speed for 59 yards.
Not only breakaway speed. Watch the shake. Watch the shake right inside him. A little bit this, a little bit that. Now he shows burst speed. Now he shows flat out speed. They have angles on him, and now it's just a matter of being a want-to guy to get into the end zone. Great job by the Northern Illinois Husky offensive line on that play.
Brandon Williams, number 6, had the angle on him around the 7-yard line, but by the time he got a hand on him, Clanton was in the end zone. Extra point from Nendick is good. So Montel Clanton says, we're wiping that lead out. The Huskies have tied it in explosive fashion. Welcome back here to Brigham Field at Husky Stadium. The crowd buzzing after an 80-yard scoring drive. The NIU Alumni Association 4-play 80-yard scoring drive. Took 2:16. The big chunk. That happy man right there, Montel Clanton, said, you saw Larry Luster, I'll do it with a little bit more speed and grace. And he blew it open up the middle, Bob.
And Tim Mayer brought number 77 and Eddie Adamski, a great combination block on the nose guard that sprung that play. 6'4", 312-pound sophomore, 6'2", 280-pound sophomore. I mean, you got a couple sophomores like that that can block. That bodes very well for the future of the Northern Illinois Husky running game. And as I mentioned before, you know, there's a quote, you know, David, I had a chance to coach Coach Sembeckler. We lost him this past year, a great friend and a great man. But what a testimony from him about a Joe Novak football team. He was Joe's college coach, don't forget.
Correct.
They'll be disciplined and they'll be able to run the football. And that's what Joe Novak is all about. Joe Novak comes here and persevered through some very difficult times. He's a throwback football coach, but I'm going to tell you something. Joe Novak is all that is good about the coaching profession.
But you know who deserves a lot of credit? Kerry Groff, the former athletic director, deserves a ton of credit, not only for hiring him, but for sticking by him when there were people saying, I don't know, they haven't won a game in 2.5 years, or won a 23 start. They said, no. Kerry said, we got the right person, and President John Peters. Those two people said, no, he's our football coach. And they've been rewarded because he's a heck of a coach. SIU will go back on the attack at the 27. Larry Warner was the man who ran that one out. And Anthony Mason, number 1, Garrett Wolf's old number, made the tackle.
Mention again about Carrie Groth. She was an outstanding tennis coach here at Northern Illinois University and then became an administrator and then became the athletic director.
Correct.
And she is the individual that hired Joe Novak, as you mentioned, and stuck with Joe.
Correct.
And I think, as you mentioned, she was an outstanding individual when you and I coached here. You always knew that she was headed for great things.
And then, of course, Jim Phillips has taken things to another level around here. We look at that Yorton Center. It is unbelievable. We'll tell you more about it as the evening goes on. And the Husky defense flying to the ball, blows that play up.
You watch a running back. You're a defensive player. You watch a running back go downfield 59 yards for a touchdown. That gets you going when you come out to the defensive side of the football. And that's a hallmarks of Joe Novak teams. Denny Dornbos, a defensive coordinator, great pursuit. Keep your shoulders square. Pursuit is the hallmark of any great defense.
Deji Kareem was the man who was carrying the mail there and was nailed for a loss of a yard. It's a 2nd and 11 for SIU. Nick Hill looking, throws, outstanding catch. That ball was thrown behind him, and Alan Turner, that was a good football catch.
Absolutely. You watch
Chase
when
Carter
he catches this ball. You catch a football, David, with your eyes, not your hands. You have to have concentration because he knows he is under the defenders, and he is going to get hit the minute he catches that football. Good job of securing the ball also. But look at the Husky defense. I count 6 people around that football. As the evening goes on, if they continue to do that, that's going to play havoc with the Saluki offense.
You know, a 1-yard run or a 59-yard run writes down in the scorebook as 7 points, but the 59-yarder, a little more juice in your step defensively.
Absolutely. Motivates the entire football team.
Larry Warner, the man in the backfield, and he breaks 2 tackles and then is knocked down. Real good play by Mark Ryder. And Josh Allen came up from his linebacking spot.
Watch the Northern Illinois defensive line. They create a new line of scrimmage. They get a push. You want your defensive linemen to play at the heels depth of the offensive linemen to be disruptive and make plays that way. And at the same time, play team defense.
A 2nd and 9 situation now. So Northern's done a very good job here, Bob, early on 1st down. Nick Hill hands it off. And again, Josh Allen from his linebacking spot knocks Larry Warner to the ground. Larry Warner getting the bulk of the work so far here for SIU.
You know, I can't emphasize this point enough. When you play defense, whether you're a linebacker or a defensive lineman, keeping your shoulders square to the line of scrimmage gives you a 3-way go. You turn your shoulders, then to go and make the play, you have to correct yourself. This is a sign of a well-coached defensive front. Shoulders square, move to the football. Big 3rd and 3 here, David.
Deji Kareem is the man now, number 31 in the backfield. But Nick Hill's going to throw, looks, got his man. It's going to be very, very close. We'll see where they spot it. I think he's got enough for the 1st down. And yes, he does. Move the sticks. SIU will go back on a 1st and 10. Jabril Lewis, the tight end, number 87, made the catch. And my partner can now take a deep breath. Folks, you had no idea the trauma he had been subjected to. We're up here doing the game. He looks around and goes, oh my God, my briefcase is gone. His keys, his wallet, everything. The forgetful one, Bob Kamel, left it downstairs.
I was caught up in the game early on.
Man, you are a beauty.
This is not a briefcase. This is a vintage
Looks
leather
like something
bag.
you got free when you bought cologne over at Marshall Fields many years ago.
Marshall Field, I beg your pardon. Did you mean Macy's?
Now it's Macy's. Marshall Fields to me.
Hey, we're a couple of Chicago guys. It's Marshall Field. Let me tell you something else. You mentioned Jim Phillips, Weber High School, the consummate Chicago guy. He wants this to be Chicago's college football team. And the way I see it, this is Chicago's college football team.
He's done an unbelievable job. They sell out Soldier Field last week against Iowa. He's done an amazing job, folks, and we tell you about the Yorton Center. He'll join us in the 4th quarter. It's amazing. honest to God, I'm a former basketball coach here. You're a former football coach here. I walked around the Jordan Center as Jake Kaufman makes the tackle there and Larry Warner. I walked through the 62,000 square foot athletic performance facility named after Jeffrey and Kimberly Jordan. They were the major benefactors for it. There were a lot of benefactors. They were the major ones. And we walked through. I turned to them. I said, wow, I feel like I'm in Lincoln, Nebraska or Ann Arbor, Michigan. This is unbelievable. I couldn't believe it.
You mentioned two great facilities. This very well may be better and more spacious. This may be
the best I've ever seen.
The best I've ever seen.
All over the country. Nick Hill is tripped up. Tim McCarthy got him around the ankles, tripped him up on a 3rd and 4, and that means
Tim McCarthy.
Decision time.
Tim McCarthy right here as the quarterback rolls out. He has first contained as the inside linebacker. And watch him on the run. He's a throwback type of linebacker. Reminds me of number 37 or 34 that I coached here years ago, Mr. Timmy Griffin. Pound for pound, the toughest linebacker I've ever seen. I talked to Denny Dornbos and Mike Sabach before the game. Mike Sabach's been here 24 years. He said it reminds me of Timmy Griffin. And that's high praise.
Punt time for Scott Ravanisi. And that one will go into the end zone. Northern Illinois back on the attack. 1st and 10 at their 20. Who was the other linebacker you signed?
Pat McAvoy.
No. You got him out of
Ronnie DeLisi.
Ron DeLisi.
Ron
He's a
DeLisi.
stud. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. It's 7-7. 6:55 left here in DeKalb, Illinois. That is the aforementioned Jeffrey and Kimberly Jordan Center right there. 62,000 square feet of space just for Husky athletics. And I went in, the medical facilities are unbelievable. They have x-ray set up in there so you do not have to go to the hospital to check if there's a broken bone. Obviously, if there's something wrong, you can go on to Kishwaukee Hospital. But you've got places for the doctors to work. It's just amazing. And the weight room, you could land a plane. I've never seen anything like it.
It is a beautiful facility.
Simon makes the catch from Nicholson. Rushing yards, Bobby. NIU 88-11 over Southern Illinois. So the defense has come to play today.
There's no question. Dan Nicholson on that last play was a naked boot again. He had two guys in the flats. He high-load the corner. In other words, the corner cheated up to the less deeper and threw the ball behind him. Great job. I should say that the corner cheated up to the line of scrimmage, giving him the opportunity to throw the football behind that corner. You read the corner. The corner comes up, throw the ball behind him. The corner sits, throw the ball in front of him. Good read by Dan Nicholson. He's maturing as this game moves along. What a great crowd, too, David, if I may interrupt you.
Packed. I mean, it is absolutely packed here.
This is Chicago's college football team.
Completely agree with you. Nicholson looking, throws it a bit low, but it is caught. I think it was Marcus Perez. That was Britt Davis or Marcus Perez. Marcus Perez, number 5. He's a junior wide receiver out of Elkhart, Indiana.
Watch him come back for the football. That's the only chance he has right there. In other words, he drives off the defender. When the ball is thrown, he comes back toward the football, causes separation.
Northern Illinois.
3rd and 3 situation. Justin Anderson now is the tailback, and he's the man in motion. Empty backfield. Nicholson looking, throws for Anderson out of the backfield, and that will be enough to move the sticks. Northern Illinois, first down.
As you evaluate wide receivers, as you evaluate running backs out of the back, I'm so excited, out of the backfield, yards after catch, lower your shoulder, you catch the football, now you're a running back again. YAC, the pro guys all look for that kind of thing.
Yards after the catch.
I mentioned this being Chicago's team. 79 young men rostered on this football team are from the state of Illinois. 79, David.
Nicholson hits Perez. He breaks one tackle, and now a horde of white shirts knock him down. But that should be enough to move the sticks for a first down.
You know, Perez here, yet another great catch. He also knows where he's at on the field and what it takes to move the sticks. That's why he's leaning, fighting, biting, scratching, going for more yardage. And the best part about it is he knows he's going to be tagged when he catches the football. He secures the football, 2 hands on the ball. Nice job.
Chad Spann in the ballgame for Northern Illinois. He is the single back set, and he grabs it here. Spann turns the corner. Spann breaks one tackle, knocked out just short of the 40-yard line. SIU. Kendrick Young, the D lineman, came over and knocked him down. Marcus Perez, two catches, 16 yards, and a run for 19.
Spann, nice job here of stretching the defense out and then planting with his outside foot to cut the football back and get 3 yards into the plus. Nice job by that young man. Great, great vision.
2nd and 7. Handoff again to Spann, and he will be knocked down in his tracks right where the play started at the 40. May have lost a yard. Trevor Moe, linebacker out of Garrett, Indiana, made the tackle.
Good job here by the Salukis defense of being patient. You have to be patient as a linebacker. You can't run out. And as I mentioned before, the deal with the shoulder square, very evident right there. He gave himself a 3-way go. Tack the line of scrimmage.
Montel Clanton is back in. Look at rushing yards this quarter. Of course, 59 came on one play. Nicholson throws, and Britt Davis makes the catch. Outstanding catch. Looked like the ball was a wounded duck a bit, Bob.
David, watch the running back here. Watch the running back, Clanton, in pass protection, blitz protection, and then finally a good job of getting his hand underneath the football. There's no doubt that ball is caught. There is no doubt right now that he has possession.
That's Britt Davis with an outstanding catch. And look
coming back
exactly
underneath.
What you talked about. He got that right hand underneath the ball. No doubt he made the catch. Handoff Clanton. Cracks the 30-yard line mark, and he'll probably be knocked down right around the 29.
This is a stretch play, David. All the offensive linemen basically take a step in the same direction. Everybody moves that way. The ball is handed off play side. The running back has to be patient to see where the lateral crease will be in the defense. And if it's not there, throw a shoulder down, take what you can get.
Ryan Patton and Trevor Moe combined on that tackle. Got a big kid in it. Defensive tackle Chris Arthurs, just a sophomore in Wheaton, Illinois for Southern. Handoff. Clanton picks his way. Knocked down inside the 25 near the 23. Jameer Gaynor, the DN, made the tackle.
Good job here. I mentioned vision. Steps to one side. Good shake. Reads the great read of the block. Saw that his blocker had leverage to the outside, so he cut back to the inside. You know, great tailbacks. And I'm not anointing him yet of being a great tailback. Right now, he's a pretty good tailback. Time will tell. As the game moves on, they get into a rhythm, they get better. And that's what I'm seeing with this young guy right here.
A lot of pressure, dumps it off. Justin Anderson. Great block. Britt Davis springs him. And he's headed to the end zone. Give him 6. Touchdown, Northern Illinois.
One of the most difficult plays to choreograph in all of football is the play you just saw, the screen pass. That was as well executed as I've seen. John Brost, big number 60, 6'6", 304 pounds. This is a big guy blocking in space. Watch him come back right up. Nice job. Number 65, Jason. I'll leave you to give Jason that call right there.
Oniabagu. I think I got that right.
I think you got it right, but all of them, all those big guys blocking in space, that's very special. It shows their athleticism. Adamski, Maribrock, Acevedo. My hat is off to all these guys.
Big 65, Jason Oniabagu. I'll get it later for you, folks. Trust me. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. 14-7 NIU. The NIU alumni scoring drive. There you have it, 23-yard TD catch. It was an 11-play, 80-yard drive. Took 5:21 off the clock. Now watch the replay. Watch number 7, Britt Davis. Look at that block right there, Bob.
That is outstanding football. That is team football. Britt Davis, Riverside Brookfield High School. Yet another great football tradition. Runs the defender right out. Watch his legs. He keeps his legs moving. He'll keep his legs moving. He runs him right out of the play. And that's an easy play, Dave, we mentioned earlier, to get caught for holding. But his hands were inside, his legs were moving, and he had great pad level on the defender.
Give him a gold star along with, and I'll get it right, Jason Onyebuagu.
Nice job,
65,
David.
the big fella.
Nice job.
Down the field to make a key block.
I call a screen play like that well choreographed.
We've got a flag flying here on the kick. It was Larry Warner, but yellow laundry all over the place. We've got multiple fouls coming up here, I believe, Bob. By the way, Anderson, 3 receptions for Northern. Justin Anderson, 3 catches, 37 and a touch.
I think this is going to start with Justin Thurston to find outside linebacker for the Salukis on perhaps a personal foul right around about the 22-yard line. We've also got another flag up there, David, around the 35.
Yeah, that was a later one that flew out when there were some extracurriculars. We'll sort it all out. We've got both on Southern Illinois. We got a block in the back, and we've got a personal foul on sportsmanlike conduct. Let's go down to the field. Kenny McReynolds.
Okay, David, Marcus Perez, the wide receiver here for Northern Illinois, the Huskies, he injured a shoulder. They have taken him to the locker room. It's doubtful that Perez will be back tonight.
All right, that's a big loss. Number 5, Marcus Perez, you saw, he made an outstanding catch in that drive.
Multiple penalties on the Salukis. This ball will be spotted in Sycamore. I know my geography.
Yes, you do.
Geography's been a big issue in the media lately.
How many late nights did you and I have driving back from recruiting? You're thinking, where is DeKalb? And it's only, 60 miles from downtown, but it was, coming back late at night through Sycamore.
David, as I mentioned earlier, being a couple of native Chicagoans, I've had a chance to coach at some great colleges and universities. I've been very fortunate. But when I coached at Northern, I coached those linebackers. That was like being around a bunch of guys that I grew up with in the city. I think of Tony Savignato, obviously I mentioned Griffin earlier. Ronnie DeLisi, Pat McAvoy. Tommy Klein, and I could go on and on. I'd be remiss to try to remember all their names. Clarence Vaughn, who went from Gage Park High School, ended up playing in 2 Super Bowls.
Correct.
And, Danny Schmida. And the great thing is, I'm going to get a chance to visit with those guys after, and that's what coaching's all about. It's about relationships with young people to think, hey, maybe you made a difference in somebody's life. But I loved it here. I flat out loved it here.
Same here. Some of the greatest memories of my life are the 4 years I spent here working for Hall of Famer John McDougall. Timeout Northern Illinois, so they have 2 left. Southern Illinois has 1 left. We're at the 1:21 mark here, second quarter. NIU trying to get the football back and see if they can tack some more points on. Rushing yards. NIU so far 100 on the ground already. Southern Illinois has 11 total yards. Northern Illinois 216. Southern Illinois 89.
One of the things I know at the NCAA, I've dealt with them through my entire career, as you did as a basketball coach. I really don't like the title of subdivision when you refer to some of these other teams. If they're 1A or 1AA, I really prefer that title better. When you talk about subdivision teams, those days are over. What has happened is, through parity, there's been a trickle-down effect of talent where Division I teams that could stockpile players anymore, they can't take them anymore. They drop down, so to speak, to that subdivision.
And then you see the Appalachian States knocking out Michigan. All right, a 2nd down and 9. Nick Hill, the lefty, looking. He's going down the field. He's got a man out there. It's incomplete. Broken up. Chase Carter, I think, was the man in coverage.
Chase Carter Young man came here from Coffeyville Junior College in Coffeyville, Kansas. Stride for stride. Great job. Watch him stick his hand in there right at the very, very end. Great defensive play. Showed great athleticism. Timing on that play is not to be taken for granted. Now, one of the things you mentioned earlier, game management from the booth down to the sideline. Hold the Salukis, then start thinking about your timeouts and see if you can't get in the end zone yet again.
Because you have an All-American kicker. Almost anywhere on the field, within 50 yards, he's got a shot. Hill looking, going down the field again, throws, incomplete. So Southern Illinois will punt it away on a 4th and 9 at the 109 mark. Alan Turner was the man that Hill was looking for.
Good coverage here. He throws the ball almost into triple coverage. Basically, as I see it, he's throwing the football away, and that's the prudent thing to do. In this situation, I don't know how good of an idea it was to try to throw the football downfield basically 3 times. I'm going to try to move the football, kill the clock a little bit, force Northern
to use their timeouts,
force them to get into a game management situation.
Greg Turner with the wind blowing in the face of the punter. The kick is away. It's a line drive kick. Turner's going to have running room. Grabs it at the 50. Turner makes a cut. Turner trying to turn the corner, and he'll be knocked down at the 36 or 37-yard line. Trevor Moe made the tackle, but Turner with a very nice return of about 15 or 16 yards, and that means Northern Illinois, with 2 timeouts and 57-plus seconds left, will have a chance to at least give Chris Nendick a chance if they don't find the end zone. 19 yards on the return.
You see Northern Illinois executing the punt returner. What you want is a hat on a hat. In other words, a body on a body. And then let the returner make the reads that he needs to make. Well orchestrated, well executed. Nice job by the special teams of the Huskies.
Justin Anderson, the single back. He's got the handoff, picks his way, and he will be inside the 35, knocked down just short of the 34-yard line.
You're in the huddle, you're Dan Nicholson, you're
timeout, Huskies.
Managing the football game from a quarterback standpoint. You're talking to the running backs. Hang on to the football. You get in harm's way, put 2 hands on the football. And that's where leadership, that's where guys that have been around. He started 2 games, including the Poinsettia Bowl last year at the very end. He has some maturity. Aside from that little pass that he threw that, in that screen situation that I believe is atypical of him as a young man. But now, basically on the sideline, the coaches are talking. They may be going 1, 2, 3 plays. When do we get into hurry, which is basically no huddle? At what point in time? Look to the sideline right away. There's a lot to do. And then, obviously, execute the play. I like Dan Nicholson. I really do. Chicago Brother Rice High School, an outstanding high school football tradition in the Catholic League, and almost a charter member of the Catholic League. Great tradition at Brother Rice on the south side there, over on, I believe it's 130 Pulaski.
That's exactly correct. Montel Clanton back in, but Nicholson's going to throw. He's pressured, steps up, throws it, and finds his man. That will be a first down. Britt Davis, how did he get it there?
And I think there's going to be a penalty tacked on to the end of the play. This has to be a broken coverage by the Salukis. I mean, they turned him loose. The only way that should happen is if it was a blitz situation. Credit him with finding the soft spot, the dead spot in the zone, and being patient and standing there.
And I think they're going to pick up the flag.
They are going to pick the flag up.
Let's take a look at the replay again. Nicholson's pressure. He's got to throw off his back foot.
Play action fake, looks to his left. It's not there, starts to scramble. Good job right there of being patient and waiting for the football. He showed good arm strength there, David, because he had to throw the ball off his back foot because of the pressure.
And it was Justin Anderson who made the catch. I saw 7, Britt Davis come in at the end, but that was Justin Anderson who made the catch. Nicholson looking, throws, finds his man. Matt Simon makes the catch. He will be knocked down with 35 seconds left. The Huskies with 1 timeout remaining. They will use it here.
That shows great confidence in this young man by first-year offensive coordinator Roy Whitkey. Why? Because this football is not thrown to where it really needs to be thrown, directly to his inside shoulder. That football could be going in the other direction. That's a high-risk throw in this situation.
Simon, you see him cover it up at the end.
That's a sign of coaching. you're in harm's way. Put two hands on the football. Look at the protection here, though.
And nobody's there.
No, nobody there. A pocket there. He takes off and runs with the football. He may still be running.
Dan Nicholson's completed 7 straight. He's had an outstanding first half. 13 of 60. Nicholson looking, he's got time, throws, got his man, and it's a touchdown. Northern Illinois, Justin Anderson. Give him 6. Touchdown Huskies.
Every defense has a point in time and a place on the defense that is the weakness of the defense. That's where this ball was being thrown, into cover 2, which is the deep outside area of cover 2. Great read by Dan Nicholson of recognizing the coverage of the Salukis and putting the football into that spot, into that vulnerable spot of cover 2 defense.
Nendix, extra point. He kicks it toward the Yorton Center, lands up on the deck, and that extra point is good, and the Huskies have put 3 touchdowns on the board, and they lead it 21-7. NIU alumni scoring drive. This one was a quick one. 4 plays, 37 yards, took 27 seconds. Anderson, a 22-yard TD catch, his second touchdown reception of the evening.
David, I mentioned earlier, he has all the throws. He has the touch throw. He knows when to put the football between 2 defenders. That line drive throw. That was a bit of both right there. A touch throw, but yet couldn't have had too much air under the foot.
Crisp touch throw.
And you know what? You talk about the defense. There's soft spots in every defense. You teach defenders. Defense is knowing where your help is at, and also know the vulnerable spots in the defense, because if the ball goes that way, everybody has to be moving in that direction. And that's what they hit, the deep outside third against cover 2. Cover 3, you can't make that throw. Cover 2, and they may have been rotating into cover 3. In other words, 3 deep as opposed to 2 deep. Great throw, great read by Nicholson. Watch his body language as we get a shot at him as he comes off the field. He is becoming a confident young man. And yet again, I have to give a lot of credit to the Husky offensive line.
There's a low kick. It's scooped up by one of the up men, and he rumbles his way near the 40-yard line. I think it was Aaron Lockwood. It was 6'3" and 305. He says, what am I doing running the football?
I have to ask you a question. What's he doing back there receiving the football? I mean, in this situation here, I want some guys back. I'm not suggesting to have the hands team in. But, you know, this guy is 6'3", 305 pounds, Aaron Lockwood. Granted, he's a fine athlete for his size. But in this situation, he mishandles the football, and the Huskies may still yet be going into the end zone. They have to sit on the football right here. Go inside, regroup, and come back out again.
That one will go for about a yard. Deji Kareem on the carry, and I think that's going to be the final play of the first half. Northern Illinois Huskies 21, Southern Illinois Salukis 7.
Great credit to this Husky coaching staff. This game really kind of started out as a little bit of sparring. I have to give, really, when you think about a new offensive coordinator coming in, Roy Whitkey, first-year offensive coordinator, communication, confidence from the players, things like that, very important, great job.
All right, at the half, Ricardo Patton, the brand new men's basketball coach here at Northern Illinois, will be with our Kenny McReynolds. Kenny's going to grab Joe Novak here in just a moment. We'll get the head coach's thoughts. Plus, we'll have stats, we'll have highlights, and more great analysis from my man here, Coach Bob Kamel. The Huskies a 21-7 lead as we go to the locker room through the first 30 minutes of football. Let's go to Kenny McReynolds and Coach Novak. Kenny?
Coach, your thoughts on the first half?
Well, good so far. We got another half of football to play.
I thought on the defensive end, your guys have done a great job, especially the big play that English made in the first quarter.
Yeah, really did. We had the one big turnover, gave them their score. Other than that, I think we played pretty well. But like I said, we got to keep going.
Okay, good luck in the second half, Coach. Okay, David, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kenny McReynolds. So the Huskies a 21-7 lead. Don't go anywhere. We've got a lot to do. The Huskies so far in command in DeKalb. Welcome back to Brigham Field at Husky Stadium. Northern Illinois football on Comcast Sportsnet. 21-7. David Kaplan and the coach, Bob Kamel, and that was a good first half for the Huskies.
I don't think there's any question. I mentioned Roy Whitkey is a new offensive coordinator coming in here. We talked about him, communication, things he wanted to do, getting into a rhythm. And Montel Clanton, I mean, he is becoming his own guy. Garrett Wolf was a great, great running back here at Northern Illinois. Montel Clanton is being his own man, and I mentioned that earlier. A lot of credit to the offensive line. From the defensive side of the football, we're seeing great pursuit. Great pursuit's the hallmark of any great defense. In other words, a complete team. Kicking game, everything. Give the Huskies a lot of credit.
And Justin Anderson out of the backfield, 2 touchdown catches. This is the Fatty's Pub and Grill, and you come to DeKalb, Fatty's Pub and Grill is your spot for tailgating and for your after-game entertainment. The TCF scoreboard, let's take a look at some of the things going on in the MAC Conference. You look at Miami of Ohio, great football game. Kicked a field goal with 2 seconds left, and then lose in overtime to Minnesota, 41-35. Ohio State struggled. They led 3-2 at the half, and then they pull away and beat Akron 20-2, forcing 15 Akron punts in the game. Ball State goes in and drills Eastern Michigan in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Bowling Green, game effort. They lose at Michigan State 28-17. Buffalo drills Temple 42-7. And Kent State loses at Kentucky 35-14. Ohio U in the second, trailing at UL Lafayette 20-10. Toledo trailing at Central Michigan by 3, 24-21. And Western Michigan 7-3 over Indiana. So a real good first half. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from our first half action. Southern Illinois actually grabbed the lead. They got things going, but here a big play by Larry English.
Larry English, just an outstanding football player, a big guy who can run, makes plays.
Now watch the big fellow Luster. He reads the screen, Nicholson in trouble, and look at the 300-pounder rumble. And that gave Southern Illinois a 7-0 lead. But your guy Montel Clanton to the house from 59 yards.
Well, he's really a complete back. I saw him pick up blitzes early in the game, caught the ball out of the backfield, shows great vision there, finds the lateral crease in the defense and takes it.
Justin Anderson on the screen, breaks a tackle. Great blocking by Britt Davis and Jason Onibuagu. And then here's the catch by Britt Davis to keep the chains moving. And then they'll find Justin Anderson with 28 seconds left in the half. Touchdown, Northern Illinois. And that's where we stand at 21-7. Take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have stats when we come back in the second half kick. Huskies in command by 14.
Tailgates and away game watch parties.
All right, welcome back here to Northern Illinois football on Comcast Sportsnet. I'm David Kaplan, joined by the coach, Bob Kamel. Kenny McReynolds is patrolling the sideline. Let's take a look at the statistical breakdown, Bobby, for the first half.
I mean, my goodness, rushing yards tells the whole story. Joe Novak football team is going to run the ball 103 yards to 60. Passing yards 150. You know, I am a bit surprised by all this. I thought they'd have a pretty prolific offense with a new offensive line coach also, as well as a new offensive coordinator.
Let's go to Kenny McReynolds down on the field.
Coach, I know you got to go real quickly, but what did you tell your team at halftime, and what do you do in the second half?
Well, we just got to play together. I think we played good football there for a while, and then momentum changed, and they got going, and we kind of scrambled around a little bit. We got a young team, and we talked to them how you got to grow up, face adversity. We were like this against Indiana a year ago, and we came back, so we'll just have to see what we're about.
Okay, thank you so much. Coach Dave, back to you.
All right, thank you, Kenny. So there is Jerry Kill and his thoughts on tonight's first half.
You know, you mentioned early on, David, he has 7 coaches on his staff, the Saluki football staff, that have been with him 7 years from the day he arrived on campus in Carbondale. That just doesn't happen anymore. And you know why? Guys that treat their assistant coaches right, give them some autonomy, give them a great working environment, and that's what Jerry Kill is all about. And my hat is off to him. Guys not looking for that next rung on the ladder. A lot of young coaches come up to me and talk to me about, how do you get into this level? How do you get into that level? And, it's easy for me to say. I coached at Northern Illinois, Northwestern, Notre Dame, and Michigan. If you're a young football coach, go work for a guy that's going to respect you, you're going to grow under him, and have a great lifestyle for you and your family. If you have those elements, it really doesn't make any difference where you coach.
Well, they have pulled out all the stops here in DeKalb tonight, folks. I mean, give Jim Phillips and staff a lot of credit. It is a festive atmosphere here tonight. This is the NIU MBA program second half kickoff. Evans, Adonis, and Greg Turner are deep, and we are back to action. Evans, Adonis is knocked down right around the 20-yard line. And we're back to action here. 14:51 to go in the third. David Kaplan and the coach, Bob Kamel. Kenny McReynolds on the sideline. Todd Armour doing fabulous work as our spotter up here in the booth.
Now we'll get a chance to look at what the Salukis did defensively at the halftime, the adjustments they made. And in this series, we'll see what the Northern Illinois Huskies do from an adjustment standpoint from the offensive side of the football. My guess is this: they're going to continue to run the football and mix it up with a few play-action passes.
Montel Clanton is the deep man. He will get the handoff, and Clanton will be knocked down right around the 23-yard line. Since the interception that was returned by Luster for the touchdown, Dan Nicholson, 10 for 10 for 110 and 2 touches.
Very impressive. And that's the side of maturity. Throwing the football away, and Aaron throw, having it go for 6 in the other direction, and coming back and building upon, basically adversity. I think showed great maturity as the game has progressed.
Second down, Nicholson going to throw short, finds his man Greg Turner. Turner knocked down at the 43. That'll be in Northern Illinois. First down, Justin Thurston, the linebacker, made the tackle.
Well, he hits the flat, the weak flat. He's got enough of a cushion right there. He looks right at it. This ball's being thrown in one place. A little bit of a stop pattern as he goes to the outside. Again, put that football away there, young man. Put that football away. Know where you're at on the field. Look at Nicholson. I mean, he's unflappable.
Hands off to Clanton, makes one man miss, and really, that's going to be a 2-yard gain. But guess what, Bob? That's a big-time play because it should have been a 2-yard loss.
Well, we used to be able, we always said if the play was a broken play by the offensive line, if you could make one guy miss, you had yourself a pretty good running back in that situation. Now I'm seeing guys making 2 and 3 guys miss. Good job. Good job.
Michigan today loses 39-7 at home to Oregon. They lose to Appalachian State last week. Does that loss dim a little bit because of what happened today to the Appalachian State loss?
Well, the fact of the matter is Michigan should never lose to Appalachian State at home in the Big House. Say what you want. Should never, ever lose that football game. To come back and lose this week, there has to be a lot of soul searching going on. Well, there has to be a lot of soul searching going on in the Michigan football. I know for the Michigan faithful, these 2 past performances are unacceptable.
Clanton is out. Justin Anderson is back in as the tail of the tandem. And it is a 3rd and 1 situation for Northern Illinois. Nicholson rolling to his right, looking, throws. Outstanding catch. Big time play by Brandon Beal. Watch this catch.
It's a great catch by Brandon Beal, but watch the touch yet again by Nicholson. Play action fake, rolls out to his right, throws basically off his back leg. Good job of taking the football at its highest point. Look who's covering him though. A linebacker. That's a great read by Nicholson. That's a mismatch.
Trevor Moe was the man in coverage, but what a great throw, what a great catch by Beal. Handoff, Justin Anderson picks his way, knocked down at the 30-yard line. Be a gain of 4, bring up a 2nd and 6.
Play calling, great rhythm in the play calling. I like it. There's no hesitation. He gets the play. And the other thing I like, David, I like a huddle. I do not like the no-huddle offense. A huddle is a meeting where you exchange information. and ask questions. It's a meeting. I like a huddle. Then come up to the football and run the play.
Justin Anderson picks his way. It'll be a 3rd and 3.
Let me ask you this, Bob. There are coaches. Kenny Walker made that tackle. There are coaches, the late Randy Walker at Northwestern. His philosophy was there will be times we will be out-talented. I'm not going to let you call your defense and get things set. I'm going to come right back to the line with the senior quarterback. He felt he could run his offense more effectively against you.
Well, if he, gosh, Randy Walker, talk about not only a great football coach, a great father, a great husband, a great human being. A huge, huge loss. I had the pleasure and the honor of coaching with Randy. He made it, you talk quoting Randy. But in this situation, Joe Novak doesn't have to be. He's not a less talented football team than the teams that he's playing. I mean, he played Iowa last week. They played some Big Ten games. And, here's the other thing. You do what you know best.
And they do what they know best, and that's find Justin Anderson out of the backfield. He's had a huge night. Receiving from his tailback spot, Nicholson finds him, and that's another Husky first down.
David, he has completed passes to 8 different receivers. That's called distribution. That is the way you play this type of football, the way Joe Novak wants to play football, and I'll tell you, that's tough on the Saluki defense.
Hand off Justin Anderson. He will be stood up, and this will be going nowhere. That one will be a loss on the play, I believe. Clayton Johnson, the 5'10", 190-pound junior safety from Miami, Florida, came up and made a real good one-on-one tackle.
Well, you're talking about a young guy, Clayton Johnson, who was all-day Broward County. I mean, if you're not a great athlete, you don't make that all-star team. Good job by him, great analysis, coming up and making the play. So getting back to the huddle and the no huddle. The no huddle, it is effective. I mean, for some people. Myself personally, as a football team, I like a huddle.
Yeah, we'll get to that in just a second. Nicholson looking, throwing, and it is caught by Britt Davis in traffic. Great throw, great catch. Easy for a guy that coached at Northern Illinois and Notre Dame and Michigan. Get all the horses.
Watch Britt Davis on this play. I talk about coming back for the football. You have to come back for the football. Why? Because it causes separation between you and the defenders. I really like this Britt Davis kid. David, we've seen him block. We've seen him catch pass out routes. We've seen him stop. He is really a good player.
Quarterback in high school.
Honor roll student in high school, Riverside Brookfield.
Nicholson looks, throws, finds Anderson out of the backfield, knocked down at the 3. Knocked out of bounds at the 3.
What you're seeing here from the offense, Northern Illinois' offense, is they're going to continue hitting the flat, the strong flat and the weak flat until the Salukis make an adjustment, and they haven't. That basically, that kind of a safe pass, this is an elongated handoff in a lot of ways. Great high percentage pass. Good job of calling plays. Keep calling the flat passes until they come up. Then play action fake, zingle, go downfield with the ball.
Folks, a few years ago, my guy here, Bob Kamel, named the best recruiter in college football. Put together a #1 class nationally on more than one occasion. Dan Nicholson, hands. Justin Anderson crashes toward the goal line. No signal yet. They're going to say he is short. Tackled inside the 1. When you go and recruit, let's use the Yorton Center as an example. I mean, you were able to recruit #1 classes at Michigan, at Notre Dame. You helped Northwestern turn things around, and you did a wonderful job here. This program got going when you were here in the 80s as you brought in players like Ron DeLisi and others.
Marshall Taylor.
What do you sell? Do you just sell the program? Do you sell the school? Do you sell relationships? Because you're as effervescent a guy as you'll find.
Well, after this play, we can talk a little bit about that. And that's
that
in the end zone.
Is in the end zone. Touchdown, Justin Anderson. His 3rd TD of the evening. Give him 6. Touchdown, Northern Illinois.
You talk about a back that has vision, that sees the whole field. This play was a great defensive push play side by the Saluki defensive line. He stutter stepped. He was patient. He took the football in the other direction. Outstanding job. There's the cutback. There it is right there. And look at his pad level. What do I mean by pad level? Lower your pads, become your own blocker.
Snap, kick. It flies toward the Yorton Center. Up on the deck, and it's 28-7. the Husky offense in high gear through the air and on the ground. The band having fun, the fans having fun, and the NIU offense having a real good time. The NIU Alumni Association scoring drive, 13 plays, 78 yards. They ripped off 6:04 off the clock. Anderson did the honors, a 1-yard touchdown run. Bobby, let's take a look at some of the plays.
Well, you talk about a scoring drive. They're mixing it up. The perfect pass to the outside shoulder. Here he comes back again, straight drop back. I talk about the weak flat. I see a well-coached receiver coming back to the football. Now we see to the strong flat that the Salukis have given up. Take it, keep going after it. Here's the last play, shoulder pad into the end zone. Magnificent play calling.
There is Justin Anderson, 3 touchdowns on the evening. And you see Marcus Perez, number 5, who Kenny told us earlier would not be back. He is in a sling. Looks like he's got some shoulder problems. After this kick, we'll hear from Kenny with an update on Montel Clanton. Nendick's kick, a high driving kick, comes down at the goal line. Southern Illinois is looking to see if they can get something rolling, and they will start 1st and 10. I think he stepped out of bounds right around the 31-yard line. That was Craig Turner, and I think Nendick made the tackle. Craig Turner, the man on the return, down to the field. Here's Kenny McReynolds.
And David, Montel Clanton, the outstanding tailback for NIU, they're working on his right knee. He will not be back in the game today. I'm looking at the trainers right now. He looks like he's in a lot of pain, but he will not be back today. And as you mentioned, Perez has his shoulder in a sling. He also is out for the remainder of the game. But Clanton will not be back tonight.
All right, thank you, Kenny. Great work down there on the sidelines. So a couple of injuries for NIU to key guys. 28-7, though, our score. Phil Brown comes in from his linebacker spot to make the tackle on Deji Kareem. Take a look at the SIU stats. Last week against Quincy, they put big numbers up, Bob.
480 yards against Quincy University out of Quincy, Illinois. You know, you mentioned Nendick on that kickoff. He really took a shot, David, when he made that tackle. Good inside run there by the Salukis. Starting to get a little bit of a push up front. You know, one of the things with a Coach Kill football team, trust me, Jerry Kill is a great motivator. He's a fine football coach. He's been to the playoffs on many occasions. They will play this football game right down to the final whistle, as tough as they did earlier.
Now, at the 35-yard line on the Northern Illinois bench, we're going to try and get you a shot of it. Tim McCarthy limped off. He is being attended to by 3 members of the training staff, and he looks to be in a bit of pain as SIU rips off another big run.
You know, he'll be sorely missed.
Deji Kareem, by the way.
Exactly. I mean, if I know Tim McCarthy's out of the game right now, I'm running the football right at you until I can see that you can stop the inside running game. I mentioned he's the heart of the Northern Illinois defense. You mentioned any great defense, somebody has to be the heart of that defense. Tim McCarthy plays that way.
Yep, he is, and you can tell a lot of pain over there on the sidelines. Phil Voorhees and his staff works on his, I think it's his right leg. I cannot be sure. We're a bit screamed on that play. The Husky defense stiffens there. Kareem, the ball carrier, and a host of red shirts came rolling over, led by Melvin Rice and Josh Allen.
Josh Allen exploded the lead block and forced the ball carrier to change direction just a little bit. And when he does that, that buys time for the rest of the defense. Nice job, Josh Allen. 5'11", 211-pound junior, as you mentioned earlier, North Chicago High School. Big weight room guy. He'll love that move for sure.
Nick Hill, senior quarterback, looks, throws, nearly intercepted. Nearly picked off by Brandon Weiss.
Brandon Weiss out of Lyons Township High School. Absolutely. You know, you talk about a guy right there knowing when to go up in the air, when do you continue to pursue. Good athleticism. Great vertical here, David. Look at that.
Oh, he says, God, why did he
Great
go after it
vertical.
with 2
Great
hands?
vertical. Honor roll student at LT High School. Honor roll student. And you know what? Joe Novak looks for those things when he recruits.
3rd and 8. Hill, pressure, red shirts all over him, completes the pass, but that will be short of a first down. It'll bring up a 4th and call it 2.5. Larry Warner made the catch. 99, the big D tackle. The junior out of Hilbert, Wisconsin, Craig Rush, made the play.
This is what I would call a want-to type of play. You've got Rush coming upfield, going to make the sack. He reads the play, turns around, and gets in pursuit. Big points in the meetings tomorrow. Salukis are going for it here, David.
Fourth down situation. Hill looking, throws down the field, got his man, and that is a Southern Illinois touchdown. Big play on 4th down, and they stay alive in this game. Alan Turner, the catch and the touchdown.
Great play action, great execution of play action. Throws the linebackers, throws the corners, looks for the ball, throws the ball into duress between 2 defenders. They had a high-low type of defense going there. Inside and out combo, what have you. Put the football right on the money, but what the difference was the fake and the play action.
7 plays, 64 yards, took 252. It's a 26-yard touchdown strike. Hill to Alan Turner, number 4, senior out of El Paso, Illinois. Wideout finds pay dirt, extra point is good. So we are now a 14-point game. NIU 28, Southern Illinois 14, 5:49 left in the 3rd. Welcome back, 3rd quarter here in DeKalb. David Kaplan, Bob Kamel, and Kenny McReynolds with you. NIU 28, Southern Illinois 14. Let's take a look, Bob. 3 looks at the touchdown.
Well, as I mentioned before, it was a great play action. It throws the corners, throws the linebackers, permitted the receiver to get in that depth position between the free safety and the linebacker drop. Then they inside out in what we call combo coverage. Great throw, great catch, good blocking by the fullback, well executed play. And in reality, they're right back in this game. You know, we saw a shot of the sideline. You remember Carl Mock, the outstanding player for the Baltimore Colts. Houston Oilers. You know, he's back at his alma mater, 1969 graduate. And I'll tell you something, he adds an awful lot to that coaching staff in regard to experience.
Yeah, if we could get a shot at Carl, I mean, it's going to be hard to find him down there. He's a big man.
A big man.
I mean, a very large man. Do you know that he was on the freshman basketball team at Southern, and his teammate on the freshman team, Walt Clyde Frazier, one of the greats of all time.
I've seen you a Walt Clyde Frazier gym shoes from time to time, Dave.
Yes, I do have those with the big fur coat.
They're back in vogue again.
That's exactly.
They're back in vogue.
What did they call those? Suede.
Suede.
Exactly.
Suede. Here's Nicholson. I mean, here he is right now on the sideline with the football team, showing a lot of great leadership. He gets the play from Coach Whitkey, Roy Whitkey, up in stands, up in the press box, brings it down on the field. This young guy, I mean, as I mentioned before, the maturity that he's exhibited through the course of this entire game, I think, is something very special.
Justin Anderson is the single back set for Northern Illinois. They're going to run the football. They hand to Anderson. Picks his way. Solid run, big gain. He'll pick up 6, maybe 7 on first down for Anderson tonight. 104 total yards. He now has rushing 19 yards after that carry, and receiving 7 catches, 85 and 2 touches. Career high 3 total TDs in the football game.
Well, you know, Montel Clanton comes out of the football game. One guy goes in, one guy has to step up. This young guy has stepped up. Great job there, seeing nothing play side. Pumped his feet just a couple of times, patted his feet, cut the ball back to the outside.
Anderson again. Anderson knocked down, but enough for a first down. He's out to the 40-yard line.
Ryan Patton came over from his linebacker spot, sophomore out of West Frankfort, Illinois, number 43, made the tackle.
Well, with the Huskies right now, if you just keep moving the sticks, keep giving the offensive linemen, the offensive linemen love to run block. They love to run block. They want to get a hat on a hat. They want to move those defenders back. Let them keep running the football. What a fine rhythm they have right now.
Handed off Anderson. Big run. Good burst across the 50 to the 46-yard line. Another NIU first down. Rogers the tackle. Take a look at this run, Bobby. This is explosive.
What this is just a little bit of a straight handoff with some trap blocking, a big lateral crease in the defense. He knows when to accelerate. I mean, they are really, right now, they have really got it cranking with this running game. And again, I mentioned a new football coach, Harold Etheridge, North Texas State guy. I guess it's North Texas University right now. First year. Great job.
Handoff Anderson, turns the corner. Anderson makes a man miss. And nearly another Northern Illinois first down. Let's go down to the field. Kenny McReynolds with an update on linebacker Tim McCarthy. Kenny?
Yeah, David, linebacker Tim McCarthy is out for the game. The injured right knee. They put ice on the knee, David, but it was not a good sign. When he went off the bench, they had to help him. He did not put any weight on that knee, but he's out for the game. They don't know the extent of the injury, but he could not put weight on it, and he will not be back tonight.
You do not like to see them cutting the tape off of a brand new pair of crutches. That's not good when he is the heart and soul of your defense. Montel Clanton showing support over there, number 20.
It's called being a teammate, and that's what's great about this sport.
Nicholson going down the field's got a man. Just missed finding Britt Davis. That would have been a touchdown. Just missed it.
I like to call David on 1st and 10. Great play action. One of the things right now, 2 dying arts in football. 1 tackling, 2 faking. Nicholson, great execution. Great stop and go right here by Britt Davis. Just a little bit overthrown. Just a shade overthrown. That's all involved. We talk about execution, blocking, faking, that little stutter step and then taking off down the sideline. This is a well-coached football team. I can't emphasize that enough.
Chad Spann, number 3, and in the backfield, he gets the handoff. But Spann rumbles to the 31-yard line. And it's going to bring up a 3rd, and they'll call it about 5.
Don't think that playing behind Garrett Wolf hasn't been a huge advantage for these young running backs. Because I see, and now they're their own guys, as I mentioned earlier, especially Montel Clanton. But you know what? You see like abilities. They watch and they learn. He was a leader. They watch and they learn. He was a great football player. I see a lot of him in some of these younger guys.
Anderson in motion, empty backfield on 3rd and 5. Nicholson, time to throw, looking, finds Anderson, and he is going to come up short. Real nice job by Jerry Kill's Southern Illinois Saluki defense, Bob. They did a good job stringing it up.
They did a good job of pursuing to the football, getting a great break on the football. One of the things that I'm very impressed with the Salukis is, as I analyze them and then watching this game, they have really overall good team speed.
Craig Turner and Chauncey Nixon both in there on the tackle, and now Justin Anderson limping to the sideline. I mean, a host of leg injuries for NIU tonight.
The fact of the matter, though, is with the score 28-14, 2:42 left in the 3rd quarter, it is much too early for substitution. Much too early. And that's where these young guys have to step up. The backup guys tell guys be ready to play because you're always 1 play away from being in the football game.
Here's the All-American kicker, Chris Nendick, from 46 yards away, and he got it. Yes, he does. He soars it through. That would have been good, Bob, from 55. He absolutely pounded that through. Played the wind, and the Huskies have 3 more. It's 31-14. (31-14). Late 3rd quarter here in DeKalb after Chris Nendick bangs through a 46-yard field goal. The NIU Alumni Association scoring drive, 8 plays, 44 yards, and it took 3:11 to get the 3 points off the leg of Chris Nendick, one of the best kickers in the country, Bob.
Chris Nendick, a great kicker, as you mentioned, one of the best in the country. Never take for granted the term that we use called the operation. And that's getting the team out there, getting them lined up, getting a good snap, getting a good hold, getting good protection. Huge. The operation is critically important. Again, another phase of the Northern Illinois football team that has been very well coached.
End over end kick comes down at the 9. That ball, I thought, did the ball come out? No, it did not.
No, it did not.
Craig Turner was airborne. I thought the ball might have come flying out of there. But take a look at the replay on the field goal. How he plays the wind and brings it in. Look how deep that thing goes. I mean, that's a good 7-8 yards through the uprights.
I believe that's called a draw.
That's exactly
a draw.
right.
Do you have a draw or do you have a slice?
I have a draw on my golf swing, but sometimes it turns into an ugly hook.
I'm just happy when the golf ball gets in the air.
Deji Kareem in, but Nick Hill's going to throw. He's going up top, and that ball's knocked away. Real good defense. They were looking for Luke Sherrill, and Melvin Rice broke it up with a real nice play.
You're going to see a little bit of a blitz package here by Northern Illinois. Just a little bit of a safe blitz. Young man right there gets his hand in,
punches it out.
Good job by the wide receiver getting up there at the high point, but an outstanding play. Outstanding play by Melvin Rice. Getting the hand here, knowing where, people, why don't you look back? Why don't you look back? If you look back too soon, you don't know where the receiver is. There's that fine point of getting that hand here, and that's when you watch the receiver's eyes. When his eyes get big, put your hand in.
Real good play by the guys in red. Blow that play up, led by number 2, Melvin Rice. Deji Kareem was the man with the mail. Melvin Rice led all of his buddies to blow that play up. Watch number 2. Nearly a fumble on the handoff, and there comes Melvin Rice.
Look at his legs. Look at him bring his legs. That's textbook tackling by the young man from Chicago, Morgan.
And I'll tell you, the other guy who made a real nice play didn't get the tackle, but slowed it up, John Tranchitella, number 42, the linebacker.
Great pursuit by the Husky defense.
3rd and 11. Nick Hill looks, throws, finds his man, well short of a first down, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Josh Allen, part of the gang, making the tackle on Luke Sherrill.
One of the things to hallmark, I mentioned pursuit of great defense. The other thing, you always coach your defense. Keep the football inside and in front of the defense.
Damian Sherman, actually. They have 2 number 89s on the Southern Illinois roster. 1 a linebacker, 1 a wide receiver.
They must have a lot of retired numbers. Hey, don't take anything away from the Salukis as far as what they're doing with their facilities. They have a $20 million pledge by the city of Carbondale to improve their football facilities, and they're really excited about that also, which is going to include a huge renovation of the stadium.
Deep punt and nearly a big tackle that could have led to a fumble. We have a flag flying. Rick Burgess came down there and was the man that nearly blew that play up.
Rick Burgess, a starting fullback. David, remember this, at the subdivision level, and it's hard for me to say, they only have 63 scholarships as opposed to 85 at the Division I level. So you've got a lot of guys that have to be on special teams and things like that.
Greg Turner, the man who returns the punts, and then there's the tackle, and they get him right there by the face mask. That is not the garden variety 5-yard. That's the 15-yard. Grab the face mask, flagrant, and that will give Northern really pretty good field position, Bob, when they could have been pinned way back.
It's another one of those situations where you have to be disciplined. Rick Burgess didn't need to do that. The play was made. The play was over.
He'd already done his job.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, he's a starting fullback going down on a kickoff. 63 scholarships as opposed to 85.
So Northern Illinois down to their 3rd back of the night. Chad Spann getting a lot of time here after both Montel Clanton and Justin Anderson left with injuries. You look at the number of injuries they've dealt with tonight. 2 backs, Tim McCarthy, their linebacker, and Marcus Perez, a starting wide receiver. That is not good.
No, not at all, especially you get into league play, the Mid-American Conference next week against Eastern Michigan.
Correct. This will end the third quarter of action as they count it down here in DeKalb. And we will go to the fourth quarter with NIU 17 up on SIU, 31-14. There is Tim McCarthy. Not a happy camper. He is done for the night. We'll be right back. There's a look at Joe Novak, the very fine head football coach here at Northern Illinois. Done a wonderful job building this program from the ground up, and his Huskies a 31-14 lead right now as we start the fourth quarter of action. We're going to be joined by a couple special guests here in a moment. And there's a football that's loose, and let's see who comes up with it. Spann put it on the carpet. Who recovers is the question. And it looks like Southern Illinois has recovered the fumble. Huskies down to their third back of the evening after both Clanton and Anderson went down. And there comes the football flying out.
One of the things in the huddle, you have to talk to a young running back. Hang on to the football. Tuck the football away. You get into harm's way, put both hands on the football. It's a shame. Chris Acevedo on that play, Acevedo, great block for a big guy in space. Hate to see that happen. Now you start talking about sudden change. Denny Dornbus knows about sudden change. They're yelling sudden change, sudden change. Now you see if you can't get a stop by the defense. They grade these things, sudden change.
Deji Kareem carries it out to the 45-yard line. Big gain, very close to an SIU first down.
Now you're going to come up stout. What I mean by sudden change, David, is when the offense turns the football over, be it a fumble, be it an interception, the entire defensive side of the football is yelling sudden change. In other words, get out on the field, be ready to make a stop. You grade how many sudden change stops that you have if you're a great defensive coordinator, and I think Denny Dornbus is a really good defensive coordinator.
Kareem dragged down by Melvin Rice. But Kareem carrying the mail so far here, Bob, he's done a nice job in limited work tonight.
Well, you know, one of the things you see with him, you've got to be ready all the time. You know, I know, David, you're a baseball aficionado. You know, you come off the bench, you know, that's tough duty. You've got to be ready. You've got to be ready to step in at any point in time, get into the ebb and flow of the game, and make plays.
Deji Kareem is out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. He's a 5'8", 205-pound junior. They'll hand it to him again. And again, he rips off a chunk of yardage, and it is enough for another SIU first down.
You have to get a little bit stouter up front. These linebackers have to start. You know, this is where you see the loss of Tim McCarthy. When you're able to attack the heart of the defense, and that heart of the defense is on the sideline watching the game, that's when a prudent offensive coordinator says, hey, they've got a substitute in there. Let's go after this guy. Let's chase him around until he proves that he can make plays.
Out of the gun, Nick Hill, senior quarterback, the lefty, looking. Pressure is going to head to the sidelines. He's ushered out by Josh Allen.
Credit, great coverage there, David. Credit, great coverage and great pursuit, keeping the football inside and in front of them, even with a scrambling quarterback.
We do have a couple of special guests here up in our palatial television booth. Jim Phillips, the phenomenal Dr. Jim Phillips, the phenomenal athletic director here at Northern Illinois, and Jeffrey Yordan, he of the Yordan Center that we got a chance to see earlier in the ball game. And Jim, your Huskies dealing with some injuries tonight, but so far in command and playing pretty good.
Well, good evening, David, and wonderful crowd, and a monumental moment for our institution. When you look at what we opened today, thanks to Jeffrey and Kimberly Yordan, words could not really put into context the magnitude that building's going to have for our student athletes, our 17 programs and 467 student athletes.
I toured it, and I turned to you and I said, all this red around here, am I in Nebraska? I've never seen anything like that. It's an amazing place.
It is an amazing place, but you got to have amazing people that support a dream like that.
Low snap, Nick Hill flares it out, and that is going to be short by about 6 yards. Larry Warner made the catch coming out of the backfield. Now, Jeffrey Jordan, the building has your name on it, you and your wife. You played football here. You live in the area in Schaumburg. Your thoughts on seeing that building with your name on it and what it will do for your institution?
Yeah, my name on it isn't the important part of it. I think what it's going to do for the institution, what I've already seen it do for the kids, for the coaches, the alumni, is unbelievably gratifying.
A 4th and 7 situation. The crowd rises as one here at Brigham Field at Husky Stadium on a 4th and 7. Nick Hill looking, throws, and it is tipped and caught, but it will be short of a first down, and the Huskies will take over. Nearly picked off, Bobby.
Absolutely great defensive play. But if I could turn my attention again to Mr. Jordan and this building. You know, I know that one of Jim's goals is to be Chicago's football team. I don't think there's any question that Northern Illinois is Chicago's football team. And this, what you've brought here, as David Kaplan said, I've been all over the country doing football games and coaching. This is as good as any and better than most. What a source of pride for you and your family.
We have a real good friend who is a scholarship athlete at Wisconsin who walked through the building today and said that he certainly didn't see anything in the Big Ten that rivaled this. So I certainly agree with you.
And you know, the bottom line, it's about the student athletes. And, you know, to say, and this is a cliche, obviously your heart's in the right place, but a lot of direction had to come and a lot of vision from this young guy here, Jim Phillips, Dr. Jim Phillips, who, you know, when he first came to Northern Illinois, your relationship, and again, the vision and the foresight to have something like this.
Absolutely. I actually wasn't on campus for over 30 years and met Jim and his staff and the coaches and got to know the people, and it wasn't exactly love at first sight. It took a while, but it was there.
Kendrick Young is the Saluki that's down. We will have more. We'll talk more about the building. We'll talk more with these two gentlemen, David Kaplan, Bob Kamel, Kenny McReynolds with you here in DeKalb. Huskies by 17.
2-5-1-0. Congratulations.
Welcome back in here to Husky Stadium, Brigham Field. The Huskies, a 31-14 lead over the SIU Salukis. David Kaplan and Bob Kamel up here with you, and we're joined by Jeffrey Jordan and Dr. Jim Phillips, the athletic director here. Justin Anderson, good to see. He had limped off earlier. He's back in the ball game and looks no worse for the wear as he helps move the chains. That is a Husky first down at the 11:45 mark. Jim, you took me on the tour through the building, and I kidded you. I said, well, I can't believe I'm in DeKalb. That building is amazing. But what it does is, when a coach, I'm a former coach, Bob's a former coach, you go into a home and you talk to a student athlete and their parents, and you show them that, it talks about the level of commitment from the university academically.
Absolutely, David. You and Bob have been around college football a long time. You must reinvest in your organization, and for us, it's an investment in our student athletes. And you need to do that from an academic as well as an athletic perspective, and that building captures that reinvestment in their futures.
Nicholson hands to Justin Anderson. He goes nowhere, knocked down at the 50. Away from the impact of the building, it's the aesthetics of the building are unbelievable. Because I said to Bob, I love watching the extra points get kicked up into the building on the deck, and people up there catching the football, and the view when you have a long camera shot. It's amazing.
It is amazing. Several of the kids told us when the building opened on August 1st, I feel like I've transferred to another institution. And they had the hugest smiles on their face. And I know what they were saying. They were saying they love Northern Illinois University, but when you have a building like that,
different level.
It is a different level. You're exactly right.
A 2nd and 12. Nicholson's going to throw, and it's picked off, and that one may be going to the house. Yes, it is. Touchdown, Southern Illinois, and they are right back in it. Brandon Williams, 5'9" cornerback with blazing speed, read it, and took it to the house. Well,
David, early on, I told you about a very high problematic passes, and that's one there. You throw it to the flat in man coverage. He gets a great break on the ball, shows great athleticism, shows great speed. A lot of times that weak flat is a high percentage pass, but if it's not, that ball a lot of times will go in the opposite direction. It's great athleticism. We got a football game on our hands here.
52 yards. They will try and cut it to a 10-point game. Snap, kick, good. Extra point is perfect. We'll take a timeout. 10:30 to go. Coach is right. We got a ball game going here in DeKalb. Brandon Williams, a 52-yard pick six. There's Nicholson, steps up, throws, as Bob said, a dangerous out route looking for Britt Davis, and that young man's got wheels.
Brandon Williams, 5'9", 180 pounds, sophomore, South Plantation, Florida, South Plantation High School. I mean, look at the right side of your screen right there, and you see a man who's, thrown two interceptions tonight, both of them for touchdowns. He'll learn a lot off of this game as he progresses. I am still impressed with the maturity that he's shown right from the onstart of this game to right now. Another day, another week, he won't make those throws. He'll know when to pull back and take the football and go upfield with it.
SIU will kick it to either Evans Adonis or Greg Turner. And it's going to come down to Evans Adonis at the 5. He brings it up to the 20, breaks a tackle, goes up the sideline, and knocked down right around the 36 or 37-yard line. Govan made the tackle. Take a look again at a very good return by Evans Adonis.
One of the things you ask a return team, you don't ask them to go down and make pancake blocks. Just get a hat on a hat. Just buy a little bit of time for that running back to make plays, make the plays himself. You're not going to knock guys down. You're not going to pancake block on kickoffs.
2 interceptions returned for touchdowns in the same game for SIU. First time in 22 years, since 1985.
This is a huge series for the Huskies right now. There's no doubt about it. Take time off the clock, move the football. Right now, I stay with the running game, David. I really do. I stay with the running game. It's been very rewarding throughout the entire game. Keep running that football. Granted, you've got 2 great running backs on the bench right now because of injuries, but that offensive line has been stalwart. They've played really well. This Eddie Adamski, I don't know if I had a call for him tonight. 6'2", 282-pound sophomore.
Does he get out?
Oh, does he get out? I mean, you talk about big guys, athletic guys. And that's what Joe Novak has done. He's recruited great football players, but right down the line, they possess great athleticism. And as you prepare for this game, team captain, National Honor Society, team captain, National Honor Society. Don't think that's not part of Joe Novak's recruiting model.
Nicholson hands it off. Justin Anderson, he slips and is belted down. Going to bring up a 3rd and 10 now. Loses a couple of yards.
Brandon Jordan, the Salukis inside linebacker, middle linebacker.
Had a great night.
Great night, and he is an undersized young man. And that's a as an inside linebacker. And that's a defensive philosophical idea. 5'11", 215 pounds. He's from John Curtis Christian, and that's in Louisiana, New Orleans, Louisiana. Talk about a high school with a huge, huge football tradition. He's a fly-around guy with a little timeout going on right now. The Salukis, David.
Salukis take, I believe, their first timeout of the second half.
Jerry Kill does not look like he's very happy to burn that timeout at this time. If I may get real quick back to Mr. Jordan, one of the things that are there's a weight room, there's meeting rooms. But you know what's very impressive to me? The study hall areas, all those computer terminals.
The medical facilities.
Yes, and I mean, and that's what the complete athlete's about. Student athlete. To see those computers, to see the place where the tutor is at, that is so important, and I think that really plays into the strengths of Coach Joe Novak.
Yeah, absolutely. There's computer capabilities for about 65 students. There's tutoring. We have full-time staff to help them. A lot of emphasis on academics.
Wonderful. See if we can't keep this drive alive right here. 3rd and 9.
Nicholson Drops back. He's got time. He's looking, rolls, and he's going down.
Going down, sacked by Devon Reese.
This is a situation where he has to show the maturity. Hold the football down. Don't take that sack in the red zone. Never take that sack in the red zone.
Craig Turner, the deep man on the punt here now from Andy Dittbener. Devon Reese made a big play there, Bob.
You know, that's what I call a rocky guy. The play looks like it's basically over, but he kept coming and coming and coming.
Dittbener gets it away. It's a high driving kick. Will come down right around the 25-yard line.
Touched his knee down, David, as he fielded
Touched his knee as he fielded it, so they will start at the 25. We will take a timeout. 8:09 left. Huskies by 10. Don't go anywhere.
11 a.m. For tickets, call NIU.
Welcome back to Brigham Field at Husky Stadium. David Kaplan, Bob Kamel, and we are joined by Jeffrey Yordan. He and his wife Kimberly, the major benefactors for the Yordan Center, which is an athletic performance building here on the Northern Illinois campus in the north end zone. It is absolutely gorgeous. Dr. Jim Phillips, the athletic director here in DeKalb, the man who helped spearhead putting that whole thing together. Jim, on the field here, it's a good Husky football team, but as Joe Novak told us before it's a mystery team because you don't have a Garrett Wolf or a Phil Horvath.
It is. It's a young group, as you guys have talked about all night. Got a lot of young players offensively and defensively. This is a huge series coming up here. This possession by Southern Illinois, with under 8 minutes to go, the Huskies need a stop.
Larry Warner carried the mail, picked up 8 with no Tim McCarthy in there. If you're just joining us, Tim out with a knee injury, injured tonight. We don't know the severity of it, but he is the guy, the patrolman out there that keeps everything in front of him.
John Trenchatello there with a big hit. Addison Trail, Driscoll High School. Yet again, another team captain, another honor roll student. He's going to have to step up. I mean, you know, as we mentioned before, without Tim McCarthy inside there, those two guys on the outside are going to have to step up.
And we've got a fumble, and they're going to give it to Northern Illinois.
Huge play.
Ball popped out in the pile. Alex Kuba, the man that came up with it. Out of Cary, Illinois, 6'1", 203. Just a freshman. Let's see if we can see who got a hat on it and popped it free. And he still has it there.
Big.
And there's the football comes out
big
just
hit.
before his knee hits. Kuba hit him and then recovered it.
That is a huge defensive play. Watch the impact of that hit. Woo! That's how you play this game. That's how a Joe Novak defense plays.
That one rang his bell, and I believe Bradley Pruitt is the man that punched the football out. Big play at the 7:28 mark. There will be a review on this play, but it looked to me that his knee had not yet touched down, and that original hit by Kuba stunned him. That's what led to the fumble.
This play will stand as called. There's no question. There was no way his foot touched down as I saw it. Let's get a good look here. Great camera work by our guys. Can you see it?
It's going to be very close.
The ball's out.
Going to be very, very close.
How they determine where he lost control of the football is going to be critically important. A little shake, turns his back. Wow. How about this angle? You know, the official's in the way. The knee is down, but we can't see where the football is from that angle. It has to be inconclusive now.
Has to be completely conclusive evidence to overturn the call on the field.
The one thing I wish they would go to a total NFL model. You know, if the decision is made in a quickly and a prudent amount of time, I don't mind it. But I've done a couple games this year where we've stood there and stood there and stood there. And, you know, and all of a sudden the momentum of the game and everything else. Take a look at it, get a good look at it, and make the call.
Right, put a clock on it or allow a challenge-type system until late in the ballgame when it can be a game breaker.
This one here looks like it's going to take just a little bit of time. I think that one shot that we saw. And David, am I correct in assuming this is what we see here is what the gentlemen...
same exact feed that they would see.
That they see. So they'll review this time and time again. You know, as I remember, when I came here, to coach here with Coach Corso, that bleacher on that side never even existed. It was basically a kind of a fundamental high school feel from that side. And Jim, we've been friends for a long time. In all candor, being a Chicago guy, a Weber High School guy, basically in a lot of ways a neighborhood guy when it comes right down to it, doctorate or not. Did you have an eye toward this job early on?
This is a wonderful institution, and I tell this publicly, privately. I feel so fortunate to have the opportunity to lead this athletics department, and we're trying to do everything we can to provide our student athletes with a world-class experience. Bob, you know I love the city of Chicago.
I know you do.
My father is my hero. He's 92 years old. He still lives in the same house. He raised 10 children, 6 girls and 4 boys. And the old saying, you can take the boy out of the city, but you can't take the city out of the boy. And I'll always be very fond and passionate about the city of Chicago.
Boy, Jerry Kill is furious, and I think that means the ball's going to the Huskies, and it is. Jerry Kill is livid. He better be careful or there will be a penalty flag thrown on him. He's being restrained by his coaches. He is furious.
Jim, obviously this Yorton Center, I mean, my goodness. But yet at the same time, I remember the first time I came to visit you in the basketball arena, I had never seen that. I mean, when you take this facility and combine it with that basketball facility, you have very little equals in-state or anywhere else.
Justin Anderson gets it down to the 35-yard line.
You know, everybody talks about scheduling right now. What precipitated this game with Southern Illinois being a quote-unquote subdivision team?
Well, when I took the job over 3 years ago, I'm in my 4th season. The second game of the 2004 season, we played Southern Illinois. It was the same kind of electric atmosphere, full stands, great rivalry, etc. We're going to continue to play SIU. It just makes sense.
I think it is.
They have a great history and tradition. Terrific coach in Jerry Kill, terrific athletic director in Mario Mokwa, and we're going to continue this series regardless of what the outcome is tonight.
Justin Anderson rips off a big run inside the 25, and the clock drips under 6:40. And we will say goodbye to Jeffrey Jordan, Jim Phillips. Thank you for being here, gentlemen, and good luck to your Huskies.
Appreciate it very much. Let me just tell you guys this. We love the relationship with Comcast Sportsnet. You guys are the very best in the business. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks for having us.
You know, you're giving these running backs all these calls, Mr. Kaplan, but I'm going to tell you something. Acevedo, Mayor Brock, Eddie Adamski, Brost, and then at number 65, Jason Onibuago. These guys are doing a great job up front. Great push. Great push up front. Knowing as the ball game wears on, we're talking about like 310, 312, 282, 310, 304. These are big bodies that have had to perform time and time again. Hats off to the strength and conditioning coaches here in the Yorton Center at Husky football. This football team's in great shape. And the other side of the field also. Listen, I understand, you know, we're up here with Dr. Phillips and Mr. Yorton and that. But you know the Salukis, they've come in here. They are a fly-around football team. They also are very well.
They are. Jerry Kill does a wonderful job. This club ranked in the top 25 over 50 straight weeks. Nicholson hands off. Justin Anderson picks his way. Justin Anderson nearing the 15-yard line. They'll call it the 17-yard line.
Once again, an outstanding job by the offense. A hat on a hat, a guy on a guy. And you see the running back, great vision, a little bit of patience. You take that football and you go zingo right now, you've got no chance with that type of a play. You get under your patient, pat your feet a little bit, look to the inside, look to the outside, and then burst.
3rd and 2 for the Huskies.
This is my kind of football, David.
Another handoff, and that will be close to another first down.
Ball carried by Justin Anderson.
If it's not, what's it called?
You go for it. What do you do?
asking you.
Well, 2 touchdowns then can beat you. I don't put myself in that situation. I continue to run the clock, and I believe that my offensive line can get me half a yard.
I'm with you.
And I want a quarterback sneak.
Quarterback sneak? Here's the one thing. Use the snap count here. Use the snap count. It's the most fundamental. Northern trying to get a timeout. Northern, and they do get the timeout.
We'll call this 4th and less than a yard. Timeout NIU. We'll take a timeout. Joe Novak discusses his options with his staff. We'll see what happens when we come back.
Kishwaukee Hospital, Health, Heart, and Home. And Resource Bank, where banking is a pleasure.
David, this is all going to be on the spot, and they're signaling Saluki football.
I believe Todd Armour, our great spotter, is telling me Justin Anderson fumbled the football.
Wow.
Justin Anderson with a fumble recovered by Chris Arthur.
See if we can't spot that up in here. Inside handoff. Good push by the Saluki defensive line. Ooh, the ball is out.
Yep, I couldn't tell who punched it out of there. It might have been Chris Arthurs. And Nick Hill just hit his man in stride, and he dropped it. Damian Sherman dropped the pass.
Trust me, David, he looked upfield just a little bit. He was thinking end zone. Just a little bit. Catch the football. Well, you want to see what a wide receiver. Catch the football and pop your head down until the football is secured in your midsection or in your dominant carrying.
He looks, throws, finds his man, short game.
Catch made, Nick Hill to 86, Ryan Kearns.
That's all he had. There was great coverage deep. He threw the football to the only receiver that he could have. Expected yards after the catch.
Call it a gain of 6. Hill hit as he throws, ball up, and it's caught. That will be a Southern Illinois first down. Ryan Kearns. Nick Hill was absolutely leveled as he threw this pass, and they found a way to catch the football.
Credit Ryan Kearns with a real heads-up play.
Tranchitella was the man that hit it. Hill's going to tuck it and run, and he'll be dragged down by Josh Allen. Clock running. We drip under 3:10 right now.
Saluki's going to be what we refer to as the hurry offense. There'll be no huddle here with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Handed off, and Larry English made the tackle of Larry Warner.
Tackled by Larry English.
You know, this is a situation when you're fighting the clock. You hand the ball. You can try to throw the ball downfield. You go for the big hit. Somewhere along the line here, that's what you have to do. You have to throw the football downfield. 2 minutes and 50 seconds left. There it is.
And we'll see what they call incomplete.
And that's a good call by these officials. I think the officials done a really good job this evening controlling the football game.
Jerry Kill was not happy with him earlier.
No, he's not. You take that shot downfield that way.
Going to bring up a 2nd and 10 situation. There is a look at Jerry Kill.
Well, this is when you're as a head coach and your assistant coaches. Sure, I mean, you're in the heat of battle and everything, but Jerry Kill's been there long enough to know, has been a head coach long enough to know that still cooler heads prevail.
Hill looking over the middle, finds his man. They'll gain maybe 4. Phil Goforth made the catch. Big tight end, 6'1", 200 yards, 200-pounder, wide receiver. Tranchitella made the hit.
Good job by the Husky defense of keeping the football inside the perimeter.
A lot of
inside
pressure.
the perimeter of the defense.
And Nick Hill throws it away. Lots of pressure by Northern Illinois, led by Tranchitella
You can see here,
and Jake Kaufman.
Hill's going to flush. In other words, he's going to get outside the pocket and try to make something happen. Try to get an entire panorama of the whole field and hope that the Huskies have made a mistake in the secondary, a busted coverage, because basically that's all he's going to have left in that situation.
Big play here, Bob. This could be the ball game right here. A 4th and 6 near midfield. Hill rolling to his left, throws and got his man and moved the sticks. First down, Southern Illinois. Phil Goforth, the wide receiver, makes a big catch. Great throw by Nick Hill under duress.
Nick Hill has showed a great deal of poise and a great deal of athleticism in the game, especially in a series like this with his back to the wall, fighting the clock. Nice job by this young man.
That ball tipped around and nearly intercepted. Was that Tranchitella? Who got a hand on it.
Driscoll Catholic High School, Addison, Illinois. 3.5 student. He has 5 older brothers. You think he's a tough guy? How about it? Good job of getting his hand up there. Good athleticism. You know, linebackers years ago didn't play football that athletically. They were pluggers and things. This young guy right here, 6'2", 221, he's only a sophomore. High upside.
SIU now 3 of 4 on 4th down. Pretty good productivity with the game on the line. This time a much better snap. Hill's been dealing with some bad snaps. He goes down the field and misses his man. It goes out of bounds. Alan Turner, who caught that big touchdown on 4th down earlier in the ball game from 26 yards out, was the intended receiver.
Turner needs to get his head around when he's running a pattern like that. Throws it, you know, we used to call it dead in the hole. In other words, you're going to tell the wide receiver this ball's going to be underthrown. Drive the corner off. I'm going to underthrow the football, look back to me, and then come back and make the catch.
Tommy Waddle, who's done a lot of these games with me as well, he was a master at that.
It's better if you're slower.
He was slow. Great hands, though. Hill dumps it off. Finds his man, and that will be enough for, I believe, nope, they'll be short of a first down. Deji Kareem, brought down by Larry English.
The Northern Illinois defense has seen everything in this game, everything. Jerry Hill has gone to the playbook and then some.
4th and 2, another big play here for Southern Illinois. Hill throws, got his man, another first down. They are 4 of 5 on 4th down.
Hill has a strong arm. That was a great throw. Good strength. Looked one way, went through his progression, put the ball right on the money.
Deep out from the opposite hash. That's a big-time throw. This play will be blown dead. Let's see what we've got here. With a $1:11 left. Nobody really has left him.
No, I was about to say that, David. I think this is what you come on the sideline, regroup, call a timeout. You know, I want to say something about
Northern Illinois. That's their second.
Nick Hill, 6'3", 210, DeCoin, Illinois High School, athletic, he can run. You know what his major is? He wants to be a special education teacher. And to me, that echoes unbelievable character. Because special education teachers in this day and age,
a lot of character. My hat is off to this young man. Definitely my hat is off to him. We have some numbers on that man right there, Joe Novak. Look at those numbers. From 96 through 99, he was 8-36. And there were calls for, is he the right guy? Kerry Groth, the old athletic director, said, yes, he is, along with President Peters. From 2000 through 2007, look at those numbers when he got a chance to build a program. He's won a bowl game, been coach of the year. He's gone to another bowl game, and a 63% winning percentage.
There was a great call for him to remain here as head football coach when Coach Mallory left. He was Coach Mallory's defensive coordinator.
And they brought in Lee
He went to the Cal Bowl. Coach Mallory went to Indiana, took Joe with them. Job came up a couple other times and finally got the job. And lucky for Northern.
And They had an open receiver, and they missed him. Phil Goforth had a touchdown, and they couldn't find him. By the way, I want to do take a look at the replay first.
The ball's going to be thrown over the wrong shoulder. Good route, good break. Northern, no help over the top. Needed to throw that football with a little bit more air under it to the outside shoulder away from the defender.
Ran into a good friend that play baseball still in a 35 and over league, and one of the guys on our team, one of the great baseball players in Northern Illinois history, a guy named Paul Chief Ganville. And he's watching the game at home tonight, cheering on his beloved Huskies. And that is going to be a Southern Illinois touchdown, and they have life. Ryan Kearns, the tight end, finds the end zone, and they are an extra point away from being 3 down with a minute to go.
This has to be a total busted coverage. The free safety had to be over the top on that.
Well, that ball's tipped. I believe that ball's tipped.
Even still, Alex, you have to be the center fielder. That's the reason that you are back there.
We'll get another look at that after the extra point. And I believe, Bobby, that ball was tipped. 26-yard touchdown, 15-play drive, 84 yards. It took 3:05. Onside kick obviously upcoming after the PAT. Snap, set, he got it. So it's a 3-point game. Give a lot of credit to Jerry Kill's club. No quit in this team. Down 31-10, they've roared back, and you'll see it. It's tipped right there.
It was tipped by the wide receiver. You know what I think happened, David? I think the wide receiver short-handed the ball because he was not the primary receiver. And he sees the tight end or gets a feel for the tight end, Kearns. Kearns catches the football and he's upfield. You still need free safety help over the top, tipped or not.
I couldn't tell whose hand got in there.
It was the wide receiver, David, coming across the middle.
I think you're right.
On a crossing route. It looked like you want, do I catch it or don't I catch it? Is it being thrown to me or is it being thrown to Kearns, the tight end behind me?
It was Goforth. Phil Goforth, number 88, I think is the man that got a hand on it and directed it into Ryan Kearns' hands, and the tight end rumbles 26 yards, and it's a 3-point ball game.
Well, now Northern Illinois has the hands team out there. What is the hands team? Everybody on the football team, the coaches team, have the ability, athletic ability to field the football cleanly. The hands team.
Now, do you like to kick a low onside kick or kick it high up in the air?
I want the kicker to kick the football so it drifts, and then bounces high.
And it does, and it's loose, and I believe that Southern Illinois has recovered it. Yes, they have. Clayton Johnson, number 36, recovers the onside kick, and SIU has the football.
This is a situation where you kick the ball in the air and have the lead man go and block the intended receiver. You're going to see that. Boom, right there. See him? He blocked the intended receiver, and the man behind him trails to get the football. As soon as the receiving team went up in the air for the football, bammo, he got hit by one of the Salukis, and then the trailing man recovered the football. I didn't get all those numbers there, David, but
Preston
that's exactly
Williams
what
was the intended receiver, and he got absolutely lit up. 1st and 10, SIU has 2 timeouts left. Nick Hill, senior quarterback, throws. Nope, he tucks it, and he is tackled near midfield by Craig Rush, number 99.
Almost lost the handle on the football there. Timeout Salukis.
Just getting ready to throw it. He tucks it and runs. Timeout SIU. They've got 1 left, 51.8 left. We got a whale of a ball game here, Bobby C.
You know, the term we used in football the years, the ebb and flow of the game. If there was ever an ebb and flow that went from one side to the other side, back to the other side, it's this. There's Denny Dornbos right there, Western Michigan graduate, gathering his defense around. And now you see, obviously on the other side of the field, Jerry Kill talking to his guy. Now you got the little chess match. You know, they haven't seen enough of each other. They've only played one of the. What do you see? Or what is there a tendency or isn't there a tendency? You know what? This is where you tell the Huskies, play the course, not the opponent. Play sound football. And Jerry Kill, his guys, the same way.
Nick Hill looking, throws, it's incomplete. Melvin Rice in coverage. He was looking, I believe, for Byron Geddes.
Melvin Rice all over the receiver. This young guy, you talk about a great break on the football. You know, because is he going to drive me off the ball? Is he going to choke his motor down? Is he going to come back? Good secondary coaches talk about driving on the football. In other words,
his motor down.
Choke his motor down. You choke his motor down, you bite on it, single. He's behind you.
Bad snap. He scoops it up off the ground. He's pressured. Drag. Finds his man, Deji Kareem. But he is short of a first down. It will bring up the ball game. 4th down. This is Southern Illinois' final timeout. He got rid of it, and there's Tranchatella, who makes the tackle with an assist to Bradley Pruitt.
Again, salute this Nick Hill guy. Larry English was all over him. He was stretching his shirt, pulling his pads right off of his shoulder. This young guy has shown a great deal of presence. They have to be so proud of the game that he's played this evening. This is it, David.
To our Chicago audience watching on Comcast Sportsnet in Chicago, as soon as this one's over, we will toss it to the Pac-10 game, Colorado at Arizona State, joining it in progress. 4th and 3. This is the ball game. Hill looking, goes down the field and has his man. And that will be enough for a first down, and they are at the 30-yard line. Ryan Kearns, the man who scored the touchdown moments ago, makes the big catch in the middle of the field. Hill looking all kinds of time down the field, got his man, touchdown, Southern Illinois. They have stunned Northern and taken the lead. Justin Allen made the catch.
I will tell you once again, David, once again, this Nick Hill has had an unbelievably special performance in the comeback of the Saluki football team.
He has showed me a lot. Senior quarterback with just tremendous poise and a great arm.
Great word right there. Great poise. He has silenced the Husky crowd.
5 plays, 57 yards, a 30-yard touchdown. Took 36 seconds. Extra point is good. No, sorry, it is wide right. So that will be a key miss. Pushed it just outside the right upright. We'll take a look again at the touchdown.
Good protection, good blitz pickup. Again, once again, come over the top. The free safety has to come over the top. Rice, as you know, I mentioned choked your motor down. He choked his motor down just a little bit there. Just enough for the defender to get behind him. That's a play where you defend the end zone. Don't go for the interception. Defend the end zone. Defend the score. Don't take a chance down there.
Jeff Fontana, number 32, was the free safety who was a little late getting over the top to give some help to Melvin Rice.
You've heard me use this term, defensive term, time and again. Inside and in front. If the ball is inside and in front of you, you've got a chance to defend the first down. You've got a chance to defend the touchdown.
What a huge miss on the extra point.
Wow. That
curled around the outside of the right upright, because now a field goal, you have an All-American field goal kicker, you have one timeout, and you got a quarterback that can throw the football.
Oh, they'll just have to come out, spread the field. They'll have to go to a no huddle also. Huskies with one timeout left. You know, you knew in this football game, this is Jerry Kill. He, as I said before, he's been around. He's challenged for national championships.
And the kick will be taken and handed off. Northern Illinois with a little trickery, and they'll get the ball out at the 20-yard line with just 12 seconds left.
That is the huddle where everybody comes to the ball carrier. He hands the ball to someone and they break out. You're looking for deception. You're looking to try to make something happen.
That's Greg Turner, you see, walking off the field. 12 seconds left with one timeout, and they are 80 yards from a game-winning touchdown. They've got to, Bob, what would you say, get the ball somewhere around the 35 to give him a 52-yard try to tie the game?
Well, here's where you have to do one. You start throwing out routes, deep outs, everything, getting to step out of bounds before you use that timeout. And you'll see right 3 deep across the back for the Salukis in a fundamental prevent defense.
Nicholson, pressured, looking down the field, throws, finds Turner. He goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. They'll call it the 35-yard line with 5.3 left.
Very well the last play of the game.
That one took just about 7 seconds, a little less than 7 seconds.
I mean, unbelievable completion to this game. I mean, and credit to Salukis. I mean, just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. Illinois is going to have to get into meetings and things and think a little bit about what they're doing defensively.
He'll go down the field, and it is intercepted, and the ball game is over. Southern Illinois has roared back from 31-10 down and stunned the Huskies here tonight in DeKalb. The final 34-31. We will be right back with our Fatty's Pub and Grill post-game show and wrap this up for you here on Comcast Sports Net. Welcome back. This is the Casey's General Store post-game show. Casey's, a convenience store, and a whole lot more. David Kaplan and the coach, Bob Kamel, here in the press box, and fans are stunned as Southern Illinois comes from behind and wins it 34-31. But first, our Adidas player of the game. Adidas is the official outfitter of Husky Athletics. Justin Anderson, 3 touchdowns tonight. A huge day running and catching passes, but it was not enough as the Huskies fritter away, Bob, a 31-10 lead in the second half and lose this in stunning fashion.
Well, so much, David, for the term subdivision football teams. I mean, parity is in college football right now. The thing is, remember one thing. The Salukis have 63 scholarships to give. Northern Illinois Division I football team has 85. Northern Illinois scores 31 points this evening at home. That's enough points to win the football game. Northern Illinois has to regroup and do some serious soul-searching on the defensive side of the football.
And we'll have to find out the severity of the knee injury to standout linebacker Tim McCarthy. And when he went out, the NIU defense took a major, major hit. Don't forget, the next NIU game on Comcast Sportsnet will air live on October 13 at 3 p.m. when the Huskies battle Western Michigan right here at Husky Stadium. So, for Bobby C., Bob Kamel, and Kenny McReynolds, I'm David Kaplan saying so long from Husky Stadium in DeKalb, Illinois, where Southern Illinois beats Northern Illinois in shocking fashion, 34-31. The preceding has been an exclusive presentation of Comcast Sportsnet and Northern Illinois University. Good night, everybody.